Hey dudes and dudettes, Mr. Theorist here, and welcome back to another Game of Thrones theory video. This one is something a little different, just like my Red God theory. I'm doing something no one else is really talking about, and that is how we can tell who our 7 final warriors are going to be against the White Walker army in Season 8. Why 7? Well, because there's another number 7 in Westeros, which is the 7 gods. And I believe that the 7 gods are kind of our clue, and that our 7 warriors are our human representations of them. And that there's going to be maybe not quite a direct connection, but at least the 7 is giving us a clue on who our final 7 will be in the Great War. Now, this is totally speculation. It's something that I've kind of been thinking on and off for the last 3 seasons, so it's got to be, no, maybe not 3 seasons, last 2 seasons. It's had quite a while now, because it seems we've had a year gap between Season 6 and Season 7. Wow. But yeah, it's something I'm mullering over, and then, because we've heard a certain character returning, it's re-enhanced my idea and gone, no, this could very much happen. So, less rambling, and let's do this. If you know of the 7 gods, they are what's classed as the new gods of Westeros. It's one god that is actually represented by 7 different aspects, and the High Sparrow wanted to replace them against the old gods and the fire god that's appearing in Marine and stuff, and also is what Stannis was following. The old god is like Mother Nature, kinda, that the old men follow. So yeah, it was what High Sparrow was really trying to do in Season 6, was push his religion onto everyone. So our 7 aspects of this one god are Father, Mother, Maiden, Crone, Smith, Warrior, and Stranger. Now each of these 7 do have a representation, in my opinion, in Westeros. Let's start off with the the father, I should say. We'll go in the list properly. Father. Now, at first, if you were to look at this theory all the way from Season 1, you could think, well, father figure, main character, Ned Stark. Fortunately, Ned Stark kinda lost his head in the first season. Now, if that's a spoiler, why are you watching this theory video if you've not seen Game of Thrones? There will be spoilers in this. So yeah, if Ned's not the father figure, who else could be? This is a bit left field, and I could have used this character for the warrior, but instead I'm using him for the father. And that is Jaime Lannister. Why? Well, because in Season 1 and Season 2, each of these 7 kind of was shown where they could potentially be. Their aspects were shown to them, or shown to us, in the first 2 seasons. And Jaime, we were told in Season 1, when Ned did his investigation, that Jaime was the father of his 3 kids. And therefore we learnt that he was a father. He is also now, instead of becoming less of a warrior in Season 7, he's more protecting, and more likely he's going to make the ultimate sacrifice to protect Westeros. And that's what a father figure does. He protects. So, Jaime, he is the father aspect of the gods. Mother. This is the really obvious one, because, well, mother is in her name, and you all know who I'm talking about. Daenerys Stormborn, Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains. Because, yeah, clearly, she is the mother of dragons, which is going to be very important in the final war, because her children are going to help destroy the White Walkers with their fire. But also, like Jaime, in Season 1, we found out where she was. We found her aspect of the gods when she kind of gave birth to the dragons when she took them into the fire when she was burning her husband. But also, she lost it, but she did become an actual mother during Season 1 as well. So Dany, we have the mother, the one that cares for everyone. That's what a mother does. Next is Maiden. Now, at first, I thought the Maiden character could be Sansa. But unfortunately, kind of a Maiden has to kind of be pure. And Sansa is not that anymore. It might sound like I'm being a little harsh, but I'm not just talking about Ramsay. I'm talking about her time with Joffrey, Cersei, Littlefinger whispering in her ear. She's not exactly an innocent maiden anymore. She's become almost heartless. She's willing to take away your family's castle and reward it to a new one simply because of what their forefathers did. Well, not their forefathers, but the leader of their houses did. She doesn't mind punishing even the children for it. That's kind of heartless. So what other character could we use? Well, we have Arya, who, as much as yes, she's become a super badass Batman wannabe who's willing to destroy an entire house, she is innocent. She's never had anyone in her life. Even though she wipes out an entire house, instead of going up to those Lannisters and Lannister soldiers and just wiping them out, she kind of has a humane moment with them. She still has a human aspect to her. There's still an innocent aspect to her. Maybe this will be shown differently in episode 2, but at the moment I'm seeing that as an innocent moment. And therefore we have Arya as our maiden. Now the next one is Crone. And the Crone, yes, it's pretty obvious choosing who I'm going to choose. But when you read the description of the Crone, it is an old woman who carries a lantern. Now there is no characters in the show that quite literally carry a lantern everywhere around with them. But a lantern is a light that shows you the way. Or, metaphorically, a faith. Melisandre is our Crone. We know that she is a really old woman when she takes off her glamour. And also, she tries to light herself and other people's ways with her religion. Her Red God faith. Look at season 2, this is where she was. Where her first appearance, she was quite literally trying to light Stannis Baratheon's path to becoming Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised. She truly believed it. She was lighting his path, his destiny. Her lantern. Therefore we have Melisandre. Next, we have our Smith. Now again, our Smith, it's a pretty obvious choice. And this is the reason why I'm really deciding to do this theory, because we know he's coming back. There's been promotional, maybe not promotional pictures, but pictures have been leaked and the rumours going around. We all know who this is. It's Gendry. And Gendry is going to be super important when we get to the final war, because he's going to be building the dragonglass weaponry that the Seven and their entire army is going to be against the White Walkers. And in season 1 we have seen his competency towards blacksmithing, and he builds himself an entire helmet. He's like, what? In his teens in season 1, maybe early 20s? And he's so good he can already build his very own helmet without his teacher being around. And it sounded like kind of like he's in charge of the smithing almost when his teachers aren't there. Come on. Gendry is our smith aspect of the gods. Now our last two. We have our warrior and our stranger. Our warrior, bit of an obvious choice. I was potentially going to go for someone else, but at the end of the day he needs to be in this final 7. And also you look at season 1, it clearly showed that he is the warrior. And this is Jon Snow. Now, obviously we know that more than likely, going the way the show is at the moment, he is going to be Azor Ahai, the prince that was promised. And now that we found out about his lineage, he quite literally could be a prince. But yeah, in season 1 he showed complete competency when he was in the Night's Watch, and all the way through his entire time at the Night's Watch. Against White Walkers, he's shown that he can hold his own and destroy other White Walkers. So clearly, Jon Snow is going to be our warrior aspect of the 7 warriors, who are the 7 aspects of this one god. Now the last one, which is a bit of a weird one, because in the description of the stranger, it is someone who is seen neither as male nor female. First, I thought, well, it's obvious. There is a very androgynous style character in Game of Thrones, and she appeared out of nowhere. It's Brienne. But then I was like, no, maybe it's less of a physical thing and more metaphorical, kind of like the crone with the lantern. I was like, well, who in the show is neither male nor female. Then it came to me. Bran. Bran is now the three-eyed raven. He is now this essence, essentially, that yes, has a physical form, but he can travel anywhere in time. He can warg into anyone. And because he's able to go into anyone's body, male or female, he is neither male nor female. So, and you look at season 1, even in season 1, he was using his warging ability. He's the only Stark who's able, according to the show, I know in the books it's different than the show, he's the only one who wargs into his direwolf. All the way in season 1. We have our stranger, Bran Stark. And there we have it, guys. We have our 7 aspects of the one god, who is also cluing us in to who the 7 are going to be in our great war against the White Walkers. Jaime, Dany, Arya, Melisandre, Gendry, Snow, Bran. Our 7 final warriors to stand up against the White Walkers before the Great Winter takes everything. And that, guys, is my theory. That we have been told who our final are going to be because the 7 is our clue. Now, I know this theory is a bit left field. It's a bit like, what? Is it really? But look at some of the foreshadowing we've had in the entire universe. If you just look at how far ahead George R. R. Martin sets up plans, like the Red Wedding, we see that Tywin was setting it up quite earlier on. One of those letters he was writing out, that was setting up the Red Wedding. So why can't the 7 gods be our clue as to who our final 7 are going to be? Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this theory. And if you have, please hit that like button. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I think this is quite an awesome theory. And I think I'm probably one of the first to come up with this idea. Kind of like the Red God one. Something that was left field. And a few people have kind of warmed up to this idea. And I think this could really come true. If you haven't already, guys, please do subscribe to this channel. Listen to more weird ass theories that I come up with to different shows. The Flash, Barry Allen one. I was pretty much on board with that one. But also on this channel we do other videos. We do like ramble reactions, retro ramble reactions, and a new series I'm doing called Movie Defenders, where I'm taking movies that I really like that I'm noticing people aren't big fans of and kind of giving my opinion as to why they do work. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. And until the next one, I will catch you guys later. Bye!